So this is actually this is the other part of the question I have for you. So you just said a moment ago that no, abortion doesn't show up in the 14th Amendment and doesn't show up in the Constitution, yet you had Roe versus Wade, which establishes a right to abortion. And so therefore that's wrong, you say. But a lot of this is going to be very dependent. The success of the Texas law seems to me, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, very dependent on the way that the Supreme Court considers the Mississippi abortion law. So right now, they're considering whether or not to fully overturn or dramatically overturn the decisions in Roe versus Wade and Planned Parenthood v. Casey, all because of that Mississippi law. How close are you watching the Dobbs case in order to assess whether or not your Texas law will be considered constitutional in the future?
I could not agree with you more. Yeah, I was in D.C. November 1st when the Supreme Court heard the procedural hearing on our case on the Texas heartbeat law. And of course, 1 month later, that's when they heard Dobbs, and we listened to those arguments carefully. Of course, you know, so many people listen to those guys and gals and try to discern what they're thinking, and often their questions just throw us off. But that argument in Dobbs and the way the questions went certainly indicate that the Supreme Court is going to do something big, whether it is upholding the Mississippi statute and allowing little babies to be saved at 15 weeks, or whether it's completely overturning Roe. They're definitely going to do something. And yes, I believe you're right. And we don't know exactly how the Supreme Court will do it, but I think you're right. We're all watching that Dobbs case because the Supreme Court is going to do something significant. Hopefully, they'll overturn Roe versus Wade. And as you guys so well know, that doesn't mean abortion goes away. It just means that each state makes its own decisions, puts it back to the states where it belongs. But I agree with you. That Dobbs case is the one to watch.
Yeah. It'll be essential because if if Roe versus Wade isn't overturned, then the Texas law becomes more challenging in the court because, the argument that you're making right now, there is no, constitutionally protected right to abortion. The court's going to say, sorry, there actually is kind of one, and courtesy of stare decisis and Roe versus Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey, that's the battlefield you're on right now.
That's the question. In that Casey case, right, in 92, the Supreme Court said, if we were considering Roe for the first time, we might go a different route, but it's become part of the fabric. So they took the view that in 92, that less than 20-year-old precedent, stare decisis, was more important than 200 years of precedent. And you know this, even Justice Ginsburg, who was a believer in abortion rights, was not a fan of the way Roe was reasoned. It's bad science, bad law. And again, we'll just speak freely. In the 1960s and the 1970s, the Supreme Court was discovering a lot of rights in the Constitution, a lot of stuff that wasn't there. And the Supreme Court has moved away from that and moved toward textualism, and the words mean what they say. And Roe versus Wade is an embarrassing relic of that part of our history. The Supreme Court can't just make stuff up. And we hope that the Dobbs case is the one they'll use to put Roe to bed, put it on the ash heap of history where it belongs.